Okay, all right, good morning. My apologies. Had a slow connection, but finally got it up and running. So again, sorry for the delay, but we're good to go now. Okay, so we are gonna kind of push through. My goal would be to try and kind of speed it up just a little bit because again, you're off tomorrow. And I try not to Zoom on Friday so that you guys kind of have your time to, knock out a couple of things and then be done and enjoy your weekend. So we're just gonna see how much we can push through today. And then we might wait and see Thursday to see. We don't have to do a Zoom Friday if we don't finish everything Thursday, but I might just post a video and let you guys check that at your leisure if there's anything that we don't finish up together that we normally do, okay? So we're gonna look at 3 things today. We start a brand new unit. I'm not really gonna spend much time talking about it because one thing that I'm going to do from now until the end is along with your unit packet, which if you've looked at it already, you've already seen it. It has a review sheet, and there's going to be a review sheet that will go with every unit from now until the end to kind of help us soak in this information because it is a lot of information that we're squeezing in our last few weeks together in this 3rd and final 6 weeks, which we're already down to less than 5 now. So we're going to go and look at section 1 and 2, IDs and SQs for chapter 22. Then we're going to go to your packet. We're going to work on some of those review questions in your packet, which actually are feeding from your Google Slide notes. It is coming directly from those Google Slide notes, page for page. And then last but not least is going to a review sheet in your packets. One of the regular pages is what I mean. Okay, so a lot of info. We're just going to see how far we get today, and then we'll just kind of go from there when it comes time for Thursday. All right, so we're going to start with IDs and SQs first. Again, this is introing into the Cold War. So after World War II is over, the Cold War is not an actual physical fight. Like, we are ready in case something happens. Now, don't get me wrong. I realize that we actually do go to war in Korea, but it's not considered part of the grand scheme of the Cold War itself. That's mostly between us and the Soviet Union. Okay. All right, let's get to it. So again, my mission is to push through sections 1 and 2 in your IDs and SQs today. So follow along with me. If you get tripped up on something, you miss something, let me know, okay? All right, section 1 is only got 3 questions. So 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll go into section 2. All right, so section 1, question 1 says, what did the big 3, and the big 3 is Roosevelt's, oh, no, man, my bad. Roosevelt passes away 1945 at the very almost end of World War II. So it's Truman. Harry Truman is now president. Harry Truman was VP for Roosevelt during that 4th term in office. So it's Truman, Winston Churchill, and Stalin are who we consider the big 3, okay? So it says, what did the big 3 decide about Germany's future at their meeting in Yalta? So the Yalta Conference is what it's referencing. Okay, here's what I want you to put. Divide Germany up. I'm just going to try and keep it short and simple. Divide Germany up. And I'll kind of explain more about that in a little bit. But they're going to divide Germany up. They're actually going to divide it up into 4, even though I know I said 3. The big 3 discuss it, but it's actually going to be 4 pieces. The US gets a piece, France gets a piece, Great Britain gets a piece, and the Soviet Union gets a piece. So we divide Germany up. Again, we're going to kind of put them on military lockdown as we help them rebuild after the war. Okay, question 2. What concerns made the Soviets suspicious of Western allies? Well, I told you this was going to come back up. The atomic bomb. Write that down. Atomic bomb. Told you they were going to be really upset to find out that they were not invited to the construction of this new nuclear weapon. They're going to hold a big grudge about that. But you don't have to write that. You can just simply put that it's all about the atomic bomb. All right, question 3. How did the Potsdam Conference help bring about the Cold War? Again, we're just going to summarize and put how to rebuild Europe. That's what it comes down to. How to rebuild Europe. How to rebuild Europe. Because again, the Soviets are communist. Everybody else has a republic, a democratic republic. So we're really going to butt heads on how best to rebuild Europe. So we're about to see a really big divide between communist and communism and a republic or democracy. All right. Okay, now we're going on to section 2. Section 2 has 4 questions. Okay, section 2, question 7. How did the Truman Doctrine and the Marshall Plan address the spread of communism? Tried to stop it. Again, we're just going to summarize. Tried to stop it. Tried to stop it, or you can actually put a new vocab term you're going to hear this week, contain. All right, it's all about containment. We're trying to contain, and if you try and contain something, that just means you're trying to stop the spread. So we're trying to stop the spread of communism. Number 8, what triggered the Berlin airlift? Well, if you know, Berlin is the capital of Germany. The Soviets are going to put Berlin on lockdown. All right, so that's what I want you to put as your answer. Soviets put Berlin on lockdown. That's about as simplified as I can get it for you. Soviets put Berlin on lockdown. They pretty much want the United States, Great Britain, and France just to let them run the show and how to restructure Germany. And we're like, no, that's not going to fly. And so they put Berlin on a military lockdown controlled by the Soviets themselves. And they think, you know, that we'll just give up and we'll just give it to them. And that is not the case. We're going to fight pretty hard. Okay. Number 9. Number 9 says, what originally led to the formation of 2 Koreas? I'm trying to figure out how to summarize it. Let's just put North falls to communism. Let's just put that. I don't know that I can really get it any simpler than that. North falls to communism. And communism is spreading, you know, it's almost like a disease. It's spreading. It spreads into China. And if you know where Korea is a next door neighbor. They're right underneath China. So it kind of seeps in and spreads in. So once China falls to communism, it kind of seeps in. North Korea falls to communism. The South is trying to stay strong and stay a democratic republic. All right, and number 10, how did President Truman view the communist invasion of South Korea? Again, I don't know how best to summarize it in just a few words, but war on democracy. How about that? War on democracy. That's kind of how Truman saw it. Truman saw it now being a very political war. Communism versus democracy. So he saw the invasion of South Korea as a war on democracy. They were trying to get South Korea to unite with North and become a communist nation together. So war on democracy. All right, did anybody miss section 1 or 2 questions? You don't really have that many terms to go back and define for those sections. But if everybody's good, then we're going to flip to the packet. All right, so when you go to the packet, like I said, the first thing you should see is that review sheet. And we're going to work on the review sheet, kind of split it up and do it in chunks. And whatever we don't finish together, again, if you will go to your Google Slides in the Google Classroom under the Materials tab, it follows your Google Slide block for block, okay? All right, so pull that up, and then we're gonna go in and we're gonna bust out as much as we can in the next 10 minutes for that section 1 and section 2 in your packet, okay? All righty, let's get to it. Let's see if we can do the first 10 on the review sheet. That's my goal today. Do the first 10 on the review sheet. It says the Cold War, and we're going to do 1 through 10. Okay. All right. Number 1 says, what is the term used by Winston Churchill to describe the areas now under Soviet control in Eastern Europe? Iron Curtain. 2 words. Iron, I-R-O-N, Iron Curtain. He says, quote, the Iron Curtain has fallen over Europe, meaning he sees a physical divide between democratic countries and communist countries. So Iron Curtain for number 1. All right, number 2, that's that new word I was telling you about. Number 2 says, this was the theory put forth by George Kennan that we should try to stop the spread of communism to other nations. Containment, 1 word. Containment. Okay. All right. Let's keep it going. Let's see. Hold on. Sorry. I was trying to look at something else. All right. Number 3 says the official policy of giving aid to nations in order to prevent communist governments became known as Truman Doctrine. Again, it's named after Truman because if he's going to push this new bill through. So Truman Doctrine, D-O-C-T-R-I-O-N, T-R-I-N-E. Yeah, doctrine. Sorry. Truman Doctrine for number 3. Number 4 says this was the plan to help Europe rebuild from the war while at the same time preventing communist influence from spreading. Wait, hold on. Oh, Marshall Plan. Marshall Plan. Again, I want to say his first name is George, but he was a congressman. He comes up with the idea. So Marshall Plan for number 4. Number 5 says the first great challenge of the Cold War began when the Soviets blocked access to this city. Who remembers? We already said it. What's the name of it? Capital of Germany. What is it?
Berlin.
Berlin. Yes. Yeah, Berlin. What is that? Number 5? Berlin. All right, good deal. Let's keep it rolling. Number 6, how did the U.S. respond to the challenge? Excuse me. Berlin airlift. Again, we're going to dump supplies. Berlin airlift. All right. Number 7, the National Security Act of 1947 helped create the agency, this agency, which would be responsible for intelligence about other nations, CIA. CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. All right, almost done with our review. Number 8, this group was formed after the war as a defensive alliance of Western Europe. All right, this is NATO, N-A-T-O, NATO, N-A-T-O. It stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization, but you can just put the initials, NATO. All right, number 9, this was the name of the communist alliance that was formed by the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe. And you're going to put Warsaw Pact. War, W-A-R, Saw, S-A-W, Pact. Warsaw Pact. Now, it also does get another name. It is also known as the SEATO, which is Southeastern Atlantic Treaty Organization, but we're going to say Warsaw Pact because that's probably what you're going to see more times than the other. And we're stopping at number 10. The year 1949 saw U.S. monopoly in this technology come to an end. Unfortunately, 1949, the Soviet Union is going to have their own atomic bomb. That's your answer, atomic bomb. So it's not good, but that's what's going to happen. Atomic bomb. Okay, so anybody missed 1 through 10 on the review sheet? So far, so good. Okay, now we're going to try and squeeze in 2 more things. We'll see how far we get. If we end up getting too close to our time, then we might hit the pause button, and then we'll just keep pushing through on Thursday. Now, I don't know how you've got it pulled up, if you got it printed or if you've got it pulled up on the computer, but you're going to go to 22-1. We're going to work on 22-1. Again, I'm going to try and give you short, simple, to the point explanations. We'll see how, hopefully we can get this all done, and then we might have to pause after that. We'll see. Okay. Let's see. Number 1 says, how did the Soviets influence the political situation in Poland at the end of World War II? Trying to think how to summarize. Let's just say fell to communism. We'll say that. Fell to communism. Obviously, they're going to kind of rub off on a lot of their next door neighboring countries, and convince them that, communism is the best option. For a lot of countries, it's just an easy option because a lot of these war-torn countries, people just, want their needs met, right? They're starving, their stuff has been destroyed, their property, homes. They just want to be taken care of, and they don't really care how it happens, not now anyway. They'll change their mind later on when they realize how bad things are, okay? But just put fall to communism. Okay, number 2. What were the differences of opinion among Churchill, Roosevelt, and Stalin regarding Poland's future? Obviously, Churchill and Roosevelt are going to say free elections. Just put that as your answer, free elections. And free elections just means that the people get to vote and choose, okay? So obviously, if Stalin is communist, he is not going to be for that. But that's what they're going to push for. They're going to push for free elections. All right, number 3 says, what compromises about Poland's new government did Stalin agree to make at the end of the war? Allow them to vote. All right, he does kind of give in and allow them to vote. I think I'm almost positive they still fall to communism, but I think he allows the people to vote to choose that they're good with communism. So a little bit of an oxymoron there, but lets them vote. That's what you can put. Lets them vote. Okie dokie. There's a couple on here we're going to skip. So just make yourself a note of this. And it's just because we don't talk about it really, and you're not going to be tested on a lot of this, because we don't really go that much in depth on some of this stuff. So you're actually going to skip 4 and go to 5. All right. I know that you're skipping it, so I'm not going to mark anybody off for not having it done. So skip 4, go to 5. How was Germany divided at the end of the war? Into 4 parts. That's what you put for your answer for number 5. Into 4 parts. All right, number 6. What did Stalin demand from Germany after it was defeated? Money. If you want to be technical about it, you can put war reparations. But essentially, it's money. They want payment. They want payment for damages, for property damages, for time, supplies used. But that's what they want. They want money. They want war damages or war reparations. They want, you know, payment for their time and trouble. And of course, they had a lot of property damage too. Okay. All right, let's keep it rolling. Number 7, how did Roosevelt suggest that Germany pay for the damage it had caused? The U.S. is going to loan it. Write that down. U.S. gives loan. Because think about it. Germany, who probably spent every cent they had to fight this war, do they have money afterwards to pay other countries back? No. They're probably broke as a joke after all this. I don't even know that they got pennies sitting around to give, you know? So the U.S. is going to give them a loan. All right, we've loaned a lot of countries money, but that's one of them. Okay, keep going. Number 8, what name was given to the era between 1946 and 1990? Cold War. That's it, 2 words. Cold War. That's how long it lasts. The Cold War will last from 1946 until 1990. We don't say the Cold War is over until the Berlin Wall comes down and until the Soviet Union gets rid of communism. All right, number 9, what did the Soviets want to keep? Why did they want to keep Germany weak? Again, this is pretty easy. They don't want to have any future what? No more
Communism?
war. They don't want any more wars. All right, no more war, right? Because Germany got us going in World War I, World War II, all right? They want to keep Germany weak because they don't want any more war. So no more war. 3 words. No more war. No more war. Okay. All right, we're almost done. Let's keep going. A couple more. Where was I at? 10. All right, number 10 says, what did Roosevelt believe was the key to world peace? Let's just put UN or United Nations. You can put United Nations. He thought the key to world peace would be a world peacekeeping organization. So you can put the UN as long as you know what it stands for, that it stands for the United Nations. All right, number 11. What did Truman believe was critical to Europe's recovery? Support and aid. 2 things. Support and aid. 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 Aid is in money and aid is in supplies. Support and aid. All right, last couple of questions. 12 says, what did Truman suggest to Stalin at the Potsdam Conference regarding reparations from Germany? Skip 12. We kind of talked about it a little bit already. Skip 12, go to 13. After Stalin rejected Truman's suggestion, what did Truman offer as a compromise? A loan. The U.S. would give a loan. The U.S. would give a loan. All right, 14, which countries in Eastern Europe had pro-Soviet communist governments? Countries beside the USSR or Soviet Union. Countries beside the Soviet Union. I don't want you to have to list out a bunch, so I'm just trying to sum it up. So neighboring countries, you just put that, neighboring countries. What was that, 14? 15, what term was used to describe the communist countries of Eastern Europe? Satellite nations. Satellite nations. All these countries are countries that are kind of being fed off of the Soviets. So we call them satellite nations. They're all kind of following along whatever the Soviets do. Okay. All right. So it took me longer than I was kind of hoping for us to get through that, and we did not make it to 22-2. That was my goal. I wanted to make it through at least one more page. But it's okay. I think we'll still be able to push through and get a little bit further on Thursday. So I'm not too terribly worried about it. I think we'll be fine. All right, so let's go ahead and hit the pause button. That got us a really good start on your unit packet. We'll keep pushing through on Thursday. Like I said, tomorrow, hit the pause button, take a day off, relax, enjoy. I don't think I put anything up for Thursday or tomorrow anyway, because I was like, oh, did I sign something for Wednesday? I don't think I did. If I did, I'm sorry. No bell ringer, no nothing. All right. Enjoy your day off tomorrow, and we'll just hit it hard on Thursday and try and knock out the rest of this. Hopefully, fingers crossed, technology is better and I'm able to start on time, and that should help us a lot getting it done. So, all right, guys, I hope you guys enjoy having a midday or a midweek break. Questions, comments, concerns, anything before we stop? No, we're okay. Okay, all right. Like I said, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy tomorrow, and we'll get back at it on Thursday. Bye, guys.
Bye.